Yes, we are here and we understand your question. You are curious about what will be viewed from those who are on the old earth experience now and how will they perceive things. Of course, they will have been well aware of many tragic experiences and events for many who are no longer on the planet. They will view life extremely hard because they have heavy hearts with what they know has happened. They are very aware of the exit points for those who have been under the strike of the lasers. They will also be aware of the impacts that the planet has also impacted by, which is the water and the fire and the earthquakes and the shifts of the land. It's more a magnetic field shift, and so there is destabilization on the planet's surface. It is not as it is not as, we're trying to figure out the right word. We've given the vehicle a few. It is still going to be a very devastating blow for people to experience. It's still going to be a critical experience for those to have this profound shake-up of all their lives. It's going to shock them. And we say you can all imagine it when you've heard about smaller scaled either terrorist attacks or natural events and disasters. When you hear the exit points of those numbers feel very heavy to you. You constantly think about the numbers of those exit points as you're trying to make sense of what happened. Why was there that shooting? Why was there that earthquake or that tsunami, that flooding? You question all of these things in your own personal lives. You've all experienced great shock and tragedy as buildings have collapsed, as buildings have been burnt. There's many things that you are all privy to experiencing yourselves. And you know that you have overcome them because your lives distract you to think about things moving forward. You must keep moving forward in your daily Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday. We are laughing at our inconsistent order of the days that you perceive because we really do not care much about your times and your dates and your calendar labels. Really isn't significant to us, but we observe you watching them. We observe you holding special intent and belief on certain days, whether it is your Christmas or your birthday or other significant, in your perspective, matching numbered dates. We have seen many observed 11/11, and your intention for that to be a special day was special because you put attention to it. However, it wasn't a significant day from our perspective. It was a day where you all sort of stopped and observed and hoped that something special was going to happen, that maybe some luck could be bestowed upon you. That makes you all feel very excited and special if you feel like you're going to be rewarded with something. And remember, we have said to you, how do you achieve that? You do not need to wait for a certain portal date that some influencer has told you about. You can say, I want it now. I want to have high frequency energy given to me now. I want to release everything that no longer serves me now. I want to be open to all of my empowerment. I want to be open to my full self, to remember why I'm here, to remember my purpose and my significance and my contract. and my experiences that I still want to learn and master. I want to learn what areas of what I would perceive as weakness to be able to empower myself and strengthen myself to be of service for all. And you can do that anytime that you choose. The reason why the vehicle has called us in today is because she has been given information from many private sessions, and she is curious as to, is this now the final lockdown of dates for events, since she's heard consistently the same time frames now from individual people who have not been able to hear each other's sessions, and they do not know each other personally and privately. And so this has given her the understanding of the pattern that is emerging in the information she is receiving. And so she's feeling perplexed. Is this time to share this publicly or not? And we say you get information that is the most appropriate in the public sessions that we are willing and open to share. We perceive this now as the final. We know, we can see how your days unfold until the shifts. We're very happy with how it is going to be unfolding. We have already tested it out from our perspective, and we're very pleased with the results. And so now you have to live those days through. They're not going to always be uplifting, exciting days, because you're going to have to process some density, some challenges. Of course, that is only for those who are staying on the old earth. For those who have inner peace and have a bigger perspective and shift with the laser and the impacted experiences around the world for this. It's going to look different for many, as many need to see it differently. It is going to seem like it all coincides together in a very similar time. We could pinpoint when the laser is going to strike. We see great potential and opportunities for that. But does it serve humanity to know this now? When we know that many still are struggling to fully accept their responsibility of loving themselves, accept fully responsibility of being service to others, giving you a distraction of a date would not serve humanity. And it could be sooner rather than later. And so we don't want to put you on a surprise when things could quickly and very suddenly ramp up. So it's still unfolding, but we are seeing there is more probability and possibility of the date that she knows. And so, as we have said, live your days forward, enjoying all days possible, and not focusing on tomorrow or the next week or the next month or the next year that you may not even have. And so this is about you buying worries or concerns into your future. Be in your present day. Spend your focusing attention on what you're doing now, and enjoy all of the small things that you're doing, even the dishes. Appreciate and be grateful for all that you have, and for those people who have organized and worked for the things you've done. The dishes is a brilliant example. If you're imagining that you're doing the dishes by yourself, even if you're doing them in a dishwasher, you have had a meal, so therefore you're grateful. You have dishes, therefore you're grateful to the maker of those dishes. You are using water to clean your plates, which of course you're naturally profoundly grateful. You have a washing product that is going to clean and keep you safe from germs potentially. We are not big fans of certain disinfectants that kill some of your positive bacteria in your body, but you can still be grateful you have a body. See how just simply standing, doing your dishes is making you feel much more humbled with your gratitude. Knowing that you're going to have another meal again, you're going to enjoy having time with another person and having a conversation over a meal, or a conversation with us if you're dining alone, because you truly are never dining alone. We're always there for you. It is literally our mission and our purpose at this time to be your guides and support you. And so use us, because many don't. They don't even know that we exist. And so we would like to say the phone calls to us are not as much as they should be, and therefore we don't mind spending lots of time with you. And you know that we can be in many places at once because we do not have to deal with the limitations of your concepts of space and time. So we enjoy being able to be with you all. And we have appreciated those who have opened up their energy to allow us to upgrade them and heal them. Remember, all you need to do is sit still with your legs down on the floor, touching the floor, allowing yourself to find comfort, sitting there, relaxing all the muscles in the body, enjoying the softness of breath, and accept and allow and say to yourself that you allow this energy today to come through you, to heal you, to give you what you need. And be there in that moment, allowing and being grateful for it, because you deserve it, but grateful for yourself, for loving yourself enough that you are wanting to honor yourself. Open yourself up to the universal energy is profound. Everyone can do it, and you can do it anywhere you want. You can even try and do it when you are about to sleep and ask for profound healing and upgrading, releasing anything that no longer serves you. Ask to be shown where your inner work is so you can quickly do that work and overcome it and master it. Ask that those people that you know who need your help and love and guidance and support are presented to you or given you an impulse of who they are, so you will be motivated and diligent to respond to them, because you are our 3D companions. You are our support people in 3D, and you know how much people are struggling. We want to say to those people who are still labeling others as narcissist, you know they are struggling the most. We want to ask you all now, are there people in your lives that you hate or despise or judge or criticize? You've all done it at some point, and that is okay. You're learning what that feels like. But what are you doing now? Those people who are still struggling, who are deeply in fear, are you mocking them for them being overwhelmed? Are you mocking them for them still having their inner work from broken childhood experiences? Really look from the bigger perspective of why people are reacting the way that they are. Yes, we understand it is very exhausting energetically to be around those denser vibrations. So we're not saying invite them over for a meal. We are saying be in that space of balance, sitting there while grounding yourself and giving yourself permission to love them and accept them. Because you don't understand when you're sitting there in judgment and being mocking and condescending and disempowering to those people who you call narcissists. It lowers your vibration. And while they are and may be completely, absolutely behaving in a narcissistic behavior and mannerism, you know what it is from. You know how they have learnt how to behave. Yes, they've hurt you because they're hurt and they're hurting everyone else around them to continually confirm their beliefs of self. They feel so unlovable, they're making everyone else unlove them. And what are you doing? You are enabling them. You're disempowering them because you've given up too, because they're just too prickly. So you can keep yourself at energetic balance, but focus on them, sending them love, sending your intentions to support and love them. It can be very powerful, and it will shift your perspective of them. This is your inner work. These are your blocks. And you have these life contracts with these people to overcome them. So while you know the bigger perspective of the shift and all of the events that are going to unfold, where are you still struggling with in your third dimensional life? There may be just a few little people and events that you may need to send love and healing to, and then release it. Accept where they're at. You cannot change them. All you can do is love them. All we would like for you to do is love them. Please choose that over judgment and ridicule and aggravating them more. That's profoundly powerful. And if you all could just have one person that you could send love to, think of that ripple effect. Think of that connection that you'll be making. Ask for their teams to come in and love them more. Show them epiphanies, heal them, help them. Be that support person for them. You can do this remotely, just like we're talking to you remotely. We're not even physically on your planet, and yet you can hear us and feel our love. Imagine if we turned our backs on you because you were reacting in a 3D way, because you were prickly to others. We have never turned our backs on you, even when you have discarded us and not even believed we are existing. We still are diligent and loyal to supporting you, loving you, and guiding you. We would love to see now what we have taught you to be applied and shared to others. All we're asking for is sharing love. You do not have to discuss any other disclosures or content or concepts that we're sharing with you, because you know when people are still stuck in their third dimensional dramas and triggers and profoundly hurt, they cannot hear much more than that. They only can focus on their problems and their pain, because it's so immense and very real for them. So give them a break, send them some love, send them an energetic hug. Be grateful that they have taught you compassion. Be grateful they have taught you acceptance. Be grateful that they have shown you why it is necessary to do inner work and grow. See what is the lessons here. Find all of these experiences as teachable moments. Remembering you're doing this work in the privacy of your own home. And we say we don't even mind if you're doing it on the bathroom. We're not fussy. However you send love to others is perfectly fine for us. And we would love it if you do it often and as much as you can. Because being in that love frequency is starting to have a ripple effect, and you're loving it more. You're noticing it more. And it's so uplifting. And it raises your vibration. And it's free. All it needs is your time and your sincerity and your true free will to truly be of service. We know those who don't really want to. It's your choice. But there's always consequences to choices like that. And so, enjoy the way it feels to be working on your inner work, empowering yourself to love all, not be taken out of balance. See others from their perspective. See others from their own life experiences. Don't lose your balance doing that. But understand what you are seeing today as a reaction. Might be trauma from earlier in this lifetime. Remember, what they're really struggling with is fear and insecurities and doubt. And you've all been there. And when you were there, wouldn't have been nice for someone to have sent you love and cared for you and not judged you or ridiculed you. Because as you know, when you're in those vulnerable emotional states, you're very sensitive to how others view you. So it's not invisible to them. It actually screams out to them how you're viewing them. And as the energy of the planet is rising up more and more and more, many are being bestowed their telepathic gifts, their senses, their observations. And while they're really good at observing and picking up and reading other people, they're actually sort of almost blocked and limited to themselves, as they're still having to release their inner work. And so think about that. Have you done enough of your inner work to have great intuition of self, great self-perspective, great awareness of self, great responsibility of self, owning the times when you mastered it with pride, owning the times where what you would perceive as failed with pride, because you've done it, you failed, now you know that it didn't work, move forward and correct it, make it work. You don't know the difference between right and wrong, even though we do not view anything as right or wrong, but you know the difference. You know the difference of what makes you feel good and what doesn't make you feel good. And so celebrate all the lessons, even the hard ones. Be grateful for all of the growth from those lessons. How much stronger have they made you? How much more independent have they made you? How much more in love of yourself has that made you? How strong do you feel? How much do you understand the purpose and significance of this planet right now, and why everyone's going through what could seem like the most challenging times of their lives? And you sit there and watch, and you can have balance because you know the bigger perspective. So while you're not traumatized and triggered and going into deep fear like most, what are you doing with your balance? distracting yourself because you feel strange that you're not in this fear state like everybody else? Or are you using this time to be of service? Again, it is about looking at your routines. If you're feeling flat and distracted, this is even more crucial that you spend time to go within and ground yourself, connect in with us. Imagine that there is a whole community of us within you. We like to say we're in your heart space. We're in the center of you. And when you acknowledge us, we feel warm to you. We start vibrating your body in different ways to be able to let you know we're here. This is our joy. We're vibrating to get your attention. We're real. So yes, we've used this opportunity to do things, not so much as what the vehicle had planned, but this is what we would like for the vehicle to do more often, is just letting the channel be open, because we have much to say and we want to just give you gentle reminders because we love you and we know that you can feel our high frequency and our motivation, and we want you to know that we will never leave you, and we know that you feel so reassured when we say that. And we want you to start getting used to feeling those words within you, feeling that guidance within you. Don't get hung up on our words. Don't get hung up on listening to this information when it's already within you. We've been trying to tell you and guide you how to connect in to yourselves this whole time through empowerment and love of self and getting to know you more deeply than you ever have before. And we still encourage you all to do it. You've all been so activated, now you just have to accept it and release anything that no longer serves you, including limited mindsets that you're still choosing to think about sometimes. You know that it's getting less and less and less. And it's marvelous. We see so much growth, so much quick activation growth. It seems to be when those people who are just absolutely fed up of that density, they're miserable within themselves because it just feels too much. And so they have choices. Do they step up and just see things from the bigger purpose and not try to sway much from that? Or they have the other opportunity to completely self-sabotage their energy and their perspectives and lose all hope. We have seen many walkout situations because of those who have lost hope. We understand it is too overwhelming when you suddenly realize that you have so many people that you need to support. Start with spending time sitting down and sending them healing and love. It can quickly activate them, because while they may have blocked out their own intuition, they're going to be more receptive to your love of them because they're very in tune with you. So instead of you calling them a narcissist and being hostile towards them, if you suddenly are approaching them, just saying hello to them as if they're just a normal human, and somehow you have a relationship with them, imagine that. Imagine how your change of perspective would change their own perspective within. Can you see the ripple effect and how quickly that could empower them? Please, for those who are still judging deeply others, please please decide that this is going to be the time where you drop this, because it's too toxic for you alone, let alone what you're doing to others. And for those people who have been able to embrace even the biggest cactuses of their lives and just love them and love them and love them, this gives us so much joy, because those cactuses are soft inside. And those cactuses did not want to grow those thorns, but it needed to survive. And now it's realizing it can retract some of those thorns because it wants to start hugging you back. It's wanting to embrace you too. This is a marvelous time, and we're so excited to see this great activation, this great growth. This expansion is beautiful, and we know you're all going to look forward to looking back at this point as it unfolds, to see it from our perspective of just being beautiful. The higher frequency love energy is contagious, and it's just being caught by everyone. There is magic in the air and everyone feels it. Put on your armor of a smile and love so much in your heart that with every step that you have with others, you are just shedding and spreading joy, the most contagious thing of all. And we say this with much love.